Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So today I'd like to share with you something extremely critical for Wing Chun and for traditional Chinese martial arts. Today, Wing Chun and traditional Chinese martial art is in the edge of the cliff. If it is not reformed, it is going to vanish soon. Well, so why we get to this point today? Why? Well, because most of what we learn today or in the past 100 years are not Chinese Kung Fu, are not the proper Chinese culture. It is pseudo stuff, which is for past 130, 40 years or so made up by people. So at the end of Qing dynasty, all of this stuff being made up. And it drift until today. So most of the Chinese martial art, including Wing Chun, is actually distorted to the big time. There's nothing real there. That is also why Xu Xiaodong in China dare to say that all this fake Kung Fu. Okay. So for Wing Chuners, it is a serious time. Okay. If you really love your art, you want to make something out of your art in a proper way, be able to par with today's world martial arts, you need to know what I share with you in this video. You need to go to the proper source. No longer all whatever what you hear today. Okay? So it is this serious. Now let's start. And I'm sure this video is going to shock a lot of people. And I'm sure maybe even the Chinese government don't like it for what I'm sharing with you today. The issue is this. Who is more important? The proper Chinese culture, the proper Wing Chun, the proper traditional Chinese martial art, or politics, or making business, and then you let everybody screwed. If whatever today continue on, you screwed two things. One, you screwed those people who is devout and loyal to want to study Chinese culture. And you screwed Chinese culture if you continuing on like this today. That's why time's up, man. Okay? And you cannot just simply selling things because it never works. So let's get into it, okay? And of course, there are many people playing expert on Chinese culture where they don't even know what is Chinese culture. And also, there are many people who learn from, say, villagers who don't really have Chinese educations. And then they make it up like it's really mysterious, magical. And well, everybody love to be grandmaster of soul, and then it end up like this today. And that's why nobody be able to stood up with Xu Xiaodong say, hey, this is Chinese Kung Fu. Everybody keep their mouth shut. Why? Because they are not sure. They don't know. Okay? So after this video, you know what is the truth. We cannot, as a person with conscience, we cannot let things go this way. It's not about money or title. It's about you have to have public-minded. Now, let's start. First thing, let's look into something called Taiji. These days, everybody love to use the term Taiji, like the ultimate, blah, blah, blah. Well, we need to know, Taiji is not equal to Taiji Quan. Taiji Quan is a name of a type of martial arts. It is not equal to the term Taiji. Okay? Is, for example, it's like I can open a restaurant, call it Chinese food, but what I sell in my restaurant doesn't mean that it's equal to Chinese. So we need to be able to know that clearly, not playing those gray area games and screw everybody. Okay? Now, Taiji Quan is only used the Taiji terms. That's all. Does it really follow the Taiji of the Chinese culture, the I Ching culture? Let's look at it. What is the evidence? In the Chinese, in the website, you can look at it about Taiji Quan. So this is the translation. Now, again, before we continue on, why do I get into this Taiji Quan and Taiji stuff? Because Taiji Quan propaganda and marketing for past 100 years is very successful. It is actually brainwashed most of the people, including Wing Chun people, who have no idea what is the truth, and it get distorted. So Taiji Quan, all those things in the web, if we translate it with the Google Translate, you will say this. Taiji Quan was not called Taiji Quan at first, but was called 13 posture. The origin of the name of Taiji Quan is generally recognized to be from Wang Zhongye Taiji Quan Theory. So is this guy, at first, it is named as the 13th posture, and then because of this guy Wang Zhongyue, Tai Chi Theory, and then Taiji Quan is originated from Song. This is a Song Dynasty Zhang Sanfeng, a Taoist. Well, guess what about this Taiji Quan originated from Song Dynasty Zhang Sanfeng? So this is Tang Hao. This is Mr. Tang Hao, who lived around 100 years ago. So Tang Hao was a Chinese lawyer and expert in Chinese martial art. Tang studied many Chinese and Japanese martial art, including Tai Chi Chuan, okay, Xing Yi Chuan, Judo, and Kendo. Now, just read this. Tang's study of Shaolin and Wudang attacked the myth still popular today, the attribute of Shaolin martial art to the Buddhist monk Bodhidharma and Taiji Chuan to the legendary Taoist sage Zhang Sanfeng. This is Zhang Sanfeng. So you know how real it is or how fake it is. Okay? So Taiji Chuan is as any martial art, we respect that. However, it blown into the marketing into like it is the ultimate, and then you have the Zhang Sanfeng and everything. 100 years ago, people know it is just somebody is saying. There's no historical evidence at all. In fact, the real name, the original name, It's not called Taiji Quan, but 13 posture. So somebody is making use of this term, or Taiji. Taiji means ultimate. This is ultimate boxing. This is blah, blah, blah. This is the thing. And so everybody who don't have culture, who don't have educations and follow with it. Okay? We're going to go into detail for one to one. Now, let's look at this thing. There's Taiji stuff. Okay? Taiji and Yi Jing stuff and yin yang and bagua stuff, which is today in the West, not even in the West, in the Asia. People have no clue what it is, but just term. When you say, well, translate the Taiji is the ultimate, Yi Jing is the book of change, but what the heck you know what it is? So, okay. So this Taiji and Yi Jing stuff is this. So if you look at the Yi Jing, there is the element, which is Taiji, and then there's a yin, this is yin, and there's yang, and then this expand into the hexagon, expanding, okay? So if you look at that, within yin, there's yang. So what the heck does this mean? Mean it's ultimate, and as soon as you know there's yin yang, tai chi, wu ji, whatever heck, then you know everything? No, nonsense. So what does it mean? Okay. So first, Tai Chi got nothing to do with this Tai Chi Quan. Tai Chi Quan is people using Tai Chi terms to name their martial art system, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now everybody can do that, but then we need to know what the heck is Tai Chi. You don't want to put the equivalent to that, and you really understand about that. Okay. In Yi Jing, the Tai Chi means no single object is ultimate. So he said that, you see that this white dot, this is black dot. So he said if we look at the black is negative or yin, and the white is positive and yang, he said that within the yin there is yang, within the yang there's yin. So what does it mean? What is the Chinese mean? It means no single object is the ultimate. It means in the entire ancient Chinese history, the ancient Chinese way of thinking is there's no such thing as one single thing is the ultimate. So don't give me all this BS about which martial art is the ultimate and all this nonsense. Okay, so Chinese, the yin within yang and yang within yin, or the negative within positive, positive within negative, is mean that there is no such thing as a single object is ultimate. So example, within Chinese stuff, within Chinese culture, there are foreign culture. For example, Zen. Zen is 1,500 years ago. What is Zen? Chinese culture, and within Chinese culture, there's what? There is the Indian culture. Zen is, a part of Zen is Buddha's teaching. Where is Buddha from? It's not Chinese. Okay? So you got it? So anybody say, oh, this is the ultimate, the Chinese, the ancient, admiring the ancient, the Daoist Zhang Sanfeng is all bullshit. Those are not ultimate. If Zhang Sanfeng is a real Taoist who knows this yin yang and yi jing, he will tell you no single object is ultimate. That's why within yin there is yang. There's no such thing as single yin or yang. Okay. Now, in terms of martial art, you look at the general Qi Guang. When the general Qi Guang fought the Japanese, the army is not effective, efficient to fight the Japanese samurai. Obviously, they lost. So what? They learned the techniques of improve their sword, making of their sword, the Chinese sword. Qi Guang got a scroll, a teaching of the Japanese samurai sword. So the Qi Guang used after study the samurai sword way, use the samurai sword way to develop his sword techniques of Qigong. Same thing with like the Zen. Zen is using the technology, if you want to use the term technology, from Bodhidharma brought to China. So that's what Chinese is about. No single object is ultimate. You don't want to take, oh, I am the ultimate. Then you're dead. Okay? So not like today. Oh yeah, Taiji. Taiji is the ultimate. It's Zhan San Feng is from a Taoist, from a cave. Or Wing Chun is the ultimate. This grandmaster ultimate. Are you serious? Those are not Chinese thinking. Those are not Chinese culture. Those are not accord to the Taiji and I Ching. Taiji, I Ching, Taiji, Yin Yang, Bagua mean that no single object is ultimate. So don't bullshit me on those people who say, oh, I have a PhD in sinology, big deal, but you have no idea what the Chinese talk about. Okay? I don't care who is your teacher or Taoist or whatever hell. This is Chinese culture. What do you learn? And from this I Ching, Taiji, Yin Yang, Bagua, as you see here, it is expanding. Okay, from the Taiji, Taiji have two elements, yin and yang. So within yang, there's yin. Within yin, there's yang. Like in the Zen, within the Chinese, there is the Indian Buddha's teaching. And then from that, it expands. Like today in Zen, you can have the Japanese lineage of Zen. You have the Korean lineage of Zen. In the China, you have so many Zen lineage. That's how it expands. Okay? So he said that things are continuous changing, and there are things which is not changing. Okay, so it's expand and changing. For example, the change and the expand is like what? Bicycle. A long time ago, we have bicycle, and then you have car, and then you get plane, airplane. Long time ago, we have a cassette tape. At first, you have the black records, right? And then you have cassette tapes. And then you get CD. And then today, you don't even need that anymore. You just, everything is downloaded from your memory. And then the CD, the record is become antique, it's gone, right? So it's expanding, some is keeping expanding, some is vanished, because like today, do you use the cassette tape? And people, you know, like the kids who born in 2010, now if they are 10-year-old, if you ask them, hey, do you know about cassette tape? They might ask you, what is cassette tape? What is videotape? Do they use that? Right? So that's how the world is. It's keeping changing. Some is expanding and survive. Some is decaying and vanish. Okay? So change. Yi Jing meaning change. Things always change, and thing always there's a part which is not changed. Like what? Like Newton's law. You can have this bicycle, from bicycle to car to aeroplane, and you keeping invent new technology, expand the old technology, gone, vanish. But there's one thing doesn't ever change: Newton's law. Or when you design a car, you need the Newton's law. Newton's law never change. So the entire I Ching, you look at that way. Okay. There is no such thing as one thing which is ultimate, and thing is continue to change. And within the continues to change, there are items which is not changing. So that's what it is. That's what I share with you. That's all what about I Ching, Taiji, and Bagua. It is really modern like today, right? Like I just make an example with you. Long time ago, we use record, the black record, vinyl record. And then we use the cassette tape. And then you use CD. And then today, you use memory sticks. And then the record is almost gone. Cassette tape, nobody using it anymore. Even CD, very rare. People use today, people use the memory sticks, right? And there is no one technology which is ultimate. You always have a different company, different technology. It evolved. So the entire I Ching of Chinese is very lively stuff. It is not a long, long time ago in a cave in China. There's this ultimate Taoist, and he have the ultimate technology, ultimate Kung Fu. Man, sorry, you don't understand Chinese. You don't know Chinese. So when the Chinese said they are the descendants of dragon, it's not that they are the descendant of a reptile or crocodile or snakes. It is the descendant of change. That is their culture. So get that right, okay? Now, once you know this Taiji, what Taiji mean, I Ching and Yin Yang and Bagua mean. Now let's look at the real law or the Tao of Kung Fu. And the real law of Tao of Kung Fu is General Qigong Classic, which is the summary. Okay? So if you look at that classic, the name of the classic is under the book Ji Xiao Xing Su. Okay? Ji Xiao Xing Su. So it said Ji Xiao refer to evidence-based and effective. Okay? Xing Su means Xing Su refer to a book that keep pace with the time. It is based on traditional method and it is not restricted by traditional method. So this again, it is about no single object is ultimate. That's why it also refers to the Qigong short art incidents. So it said based on the traditional method and it's not restricted. Well, of course, it's not restricted because General Qigong have to fight the Japanese samurai and have to fight the Japanese jiu-jitsu player, the warrior. And of course, they learn and then they change. That's what happened in the history. So it is this Qigong's summary or classic is the truth or the Tao of the Chinese martial art is because you see it follow the I Ching way. Nothing is not there's no single thing which is ultimate and it keeping expand changing, but there's thing which is not changing. So this is what it is. So General Qigong is following the Chinese culture. And so this is the Qigong Classic. Okay, now let's share with you what is in the Qigong Classic. So this is the law of fighting according to the Qigong, which is never changed. So what is that? There's a common saying, one will not be able to respond to an unrecognized attack. So what the heck you don't know, you're going to get beat up by that. Okay? And then the second is attack need to be like thunder, sudden strike with a speed that allows no time to cover one's ear. So one, you get beat up if you have no idea what your opponent do. Second, if it's lightning fast, that you won't be able to respond to it, you get beat up. So there's the Qigong's bottom line on fighting, and then it said this: one must attack without resisting nor parrying. As soon as one engage in the resisting or parrying, one will tangle with many ineffective moves. Meaning that in the fighting, you don't want to get monkey around with getting muddy with your opponent. Okay, and then so as he said that one will tangle with many ineffective moves. If you do that, you're going to get screwed because you're going to trap yourself. Now, not effective, not efficient at all. If you do try to you punch me this way, I use a tan sao, this bong sao. Are you kidding? Because the bottom line is, what the heck you don't know, I'm gonna hit you. The speed, people hit you with the speed of lightning. Nobody have time for you to go this hand technique, that hand techniques. Okay. Now then he said this: one need to have a broad combat knowledge and keep on learning. The one who can predict the momentum trends win. Meaning, you have to keep learning. Then come back to again. Come back to this. Things are continuous change. Those are Chinese culture. It continues to expand. So this is the first law. If you want to look at that, this is the first law of the Tao of Kung Fu, Chinese Kung Fu. Qi Ji Guang already summed 460 years ago. And then he continued to say, okay, this is over here in this thing. Very short, but it is summarized for you. So the first law is here. What you don't know is going to beat you. Or what you don't know is going to get you. Speed is the bottom line. Okay. The third is never doing silly thing. Okay, where cause yourself tangling there, get muddy. That is not effective at all. You want to strike in right away, make it fast, make it effective, efficient. And then number 4 thing is you better keeping learning from your enemy, learning from your opponent. Only that way you have a chance to win. Bottom line, will this law, the first law here in the general Qi Ji Guang, apply in today's fighting? Of course, it is general. It's like a law of physics. If you don't think this way, you're looking for trouble. Okay, now here it said that every style of the above unarmed combat has its strength. However, every style has only a partial solution. It only has either upper body or lower body and armed combat solution. Its style could only defeat their opponent with its specific strength within a limited area. Okay? If we use the strength of all of this style to create a system, this system will like the Mount Chang snake battle array. Okay, it will function in the following way. When one attack the snake head, the tail responds. When one attack the snake tail, the head responds. When one attack the snake's middle part, its head and tail respond. This means having a system which has both upper body and lower body and armed combat solution is the superior unarmed combat solution. So this is the second law of in the general Qi Ji Guang. If we use analogy like the 3 law of of the Newton's law, it means that you cannot just thinking about partial solution. You have to have the full solution. That means having a system which has both upper body and lower body and armed combat solution. That is the superior and armed combat martial system. It's not this every style of this above and armed combat style had its strength. Okay. However, every style has only partial solutions. And with the partial solution is only has either the upper body or lower body and combat solution. Each style could only defeat the opponent with its specific strength and within a limited area. So 460 years ago already, the Qi Ji Guang said, hey, come on. Just in today's term is very straight to you. Don't tell me your Wing Chun is ultimate, because have your Wing Chun cover the entire upper body and lower body range? How is your Wing Chun like today's in the movie? You have only Tan Bong Fok. First law saying that what you don't know is gonna beat you. You better learn more. The Chinese culture saying that, hey, everything is continues to change, okay? And then no such thing is one single object is ultimate. You keeping grow. That's Chinese culture. Now, when you say Wing Chun is only Tan Bong Fok, and Wing Chun doing the straight line, chain, and then you ultimate, I mean, are you kidding? You aren't even violating the Chinese culture. Or you say, well, I have this Taiji, I only have this Fa Jing and everything. Look at how many get taken down in the fight with the in the MMA ring. So you know that 470 years ago, General Qi Guang already summarized the thing. Don't do this idiotic way. You're looking for it. Okay. So the second law, you need to have a comprehensive system. And then the third is saying that, okay, one always transform from one type of momentum to another type of momentum to defeat the opponent. Meaning is a momentum play. From one momentum, you transform into another momentum. Fighting is a momentum play, meaning your body weight multiply your speed, that momentum. So if this is the third law of General Qi Guang's Tao of fighting or Chinese Kung Fu, that's what it is. It is a momentum play. And General Qi Guang summarized it. And the wonderfulness is to attack forward with single leg raise. And to attack backward with the back leg insert. That's number one. And the fierceness is to attack diagonals with the chop. And to attack literally with the fist. The speedness is to execute this lock joint and throw. And yeah, I didn't put it down there. There's another thing. The softness is go dodging. So what is this? Thus, the wonderfulness is to attack forward with single raise or to attack backward with backward insert, back leg insert. It is this. The chopping. The fierceness is to attack diagonally with a chop, to attack literally with a fist. There's this type of momentum. And the speediness is to execute joint lock and throw. There's all the joint lock and takedown stuff. And yeah, over here, I did not get it. I did not capture here. The fourth is the softness is going dodging. You dodge him, you shoot him close. So Qi Guang at that time already formulated out. So to recap, number one, what the heck you don't know is going to hit you. Speed. Speed, high speed where you cannot handle is going to crush you. Okay, you don't want the tangle being ineffective. You shoot him right away in. You better learn as much as possible, continue to learn, even learn from your opponent. The second thing is you have to have a holistic system. You cannot say I have a Tan Bong Fok and then I'm the king of the world. I mean, what the heck are you talking about? I have Fa Jing, I have the king of the world. No, you have to have a comprehensive system. It's like, so today's MMA, so you say today's MMA, oh, it's a modern. No, it's not modern. 460 years ago, General Qi Guang already said it in this classic. And then you say the fighting is about momentum. And then you have this 4 types of fighting style, how to play. And this is how it changed. That's how it to play. So actually, I translate the entire thing in this book, Kung Fu 1560. So that is the real law of Kung Fu. You look into today, Did people follow that Chinese, the real Chinese? As we go through just now, you know that Qigong is following the Taiji, Yijing, ancient Chinese culture. So you can see that in the law of Kung Fu from this general Qigong I just shared with you is following the Chinese culture. Today, do we follow that? No, you say Wing Chun have this Tan Bong Fuk, is everything. Oh, linear is the best. And then you say, oh, this grandmaster is the ultimate. This is the king of Wing Chun. Or you say, oh, this Taiji is, you have Fa Jing like this. This guy is from this secret teaching. What a nonsense. It's totally, completely not what the Chinese is talking about. So where the hell is all this thing come? Now let's look at those Taiji Wu demo, okay? And let's look at this. You say that like here, right? You say that the original name of the Tai Chi Chuan is generally recognized to be from Wang Zhongye Tai Chi Quan Theory. Look at this Tai Chi Quan Theory. Since just now we have looked at what is the reality of Chinese martial art from the general Qigong, there's a doubt of it. Look at this Wang Zhongye's Tai Chi Theory. Look at what he said. The entire body is so light that a feather will be fail, and so pliable that a fly cannot align on it without setting in motion. Your opponent cannot detect your move, but you can anticipate this. If you can master all this technique, you will become a peerless boxer. In boxing, there are myriad schools. Although they are different in form and skill, they can never go beyond the resilience of strong defeat the weak, the swift conquer the slow. Yet these are the result of physical endowment and not practical applications and experience. The strong and the quick, however, cannot explain and have no part in the deflections of 1,000-pound momentum with a trigger force of 4 ounces, or of an old man defeating a great number of men. Huh? What the heck is that? It is completely off from the general Qigong's real life, making battle, war, the law of fighting, the law of Kung Fu. It is living in what? In fantasy. Have you ever seen somebody have this, the entire body is so lightweight that a feather will be felt, and then defeating, okay, so that he's keeping saying that they can never go beyond the resilience of strong defeating the weak. Have you seen the weak defeating the strong? And he said that the strong and the quick, however, cannot explain and have no part in the deflections of 1,000-pound momentum with a trigger force of 4 ounces of an old man defeating a great number of men. I mean, what the heck are you talking about? Can this thing work at all in the MMA ring? In the past, Chinese history, 460 years of history in the fighting, have you ever seen this kind of thing win? What does General Qigong law? You know that his effectiveness, like he can wipe out his entire army, say 2,000 people, he lost only about under 5 people. That's his story. So those are Tai Chi theory. So those are woo BS. Are you going, Wing Chun guy, are you going to believe on that mind power, all this nonsense, which is from this Taiji type of influence, Taiji Quan kind of influence, which is not Chinese at all. Okay? And so, you know, you always see this Taiji Quan Wu demo, like, oh, I have chi in my stomach and then get punch in my stomach. Are you serious? Are you serious? That's why in my book, Decoding Wing Chun, I just broad map the ancient Chinese teaching to today's sports science about the intra-abdominal pressure. And by the way, nobody in the fight will going to go hit your stomach. Why do I want to hit your stomach? I go for your rib cage. So get all those Tai Chi grandmaster or iron shirt grandmaster, you slam into in the rib cage, will they be able to handle? Didn't all our Western boxing friends know about the liver strike and the kidney strike? You want to fight with those things? You think that the Western boxer will come and hit you in the stomach? Not go for your liver or your kidney? And by the way, I'm not trying to provoke, and I don't want you guys to hit people because I'm a Buddhist. Okay, this is karma. You hit people, you'll get it later. Okay. But what I'm trying to say is stop to be idiotic. You can train your chi as much as you want, but in the real life, in the real fight, people is not going to go for your stomach. Okay. And even worse, like how many people get KO by get struck in the head? Okay. So that's the reality. And of course, of all this pushing and fudging stuff. Well, come on, General Qigong already tell you here. Okay, every style has only partial solution. It's only either the upper body or lower body. Each style could only defeat the opponent in this specific strength. So Qigong say, hey, you better have a comprehensive. So are you going to tell me about, hey, I have this fudging, I have this all this thing, I have this chi sao. You see how serious this is now, this problem? Your Wing Chun have a what? Tan Bong Fu, a straight line. You don't even have the lower part of the body handling. Your lower part of the body is like a stick, like a rack. That's why you get being taken down since 1996 in the UFC. Your Tai Chi guy is like you look at the Xu Xiaodong fighting that Lei Lei and all other people, other Tai Chi or internal try to fight in China, get KO within seconds. Now, you think about it. First, it is not Chinese. I just share with you what is the real Chinese culture. I just share with you what is the real bottom line of the Chinese Kung Fu from General Qigong. The entire thing is here. Is it got anything to do with the woo-woo thinking of, oh, I have to be as light as a feather, and then I can defeat the young guy because I'm old. I have this gene. When have you ever seen this? So this is what I like to share with you. After I'm suffocated to look at all this nonsense, I said, what is this? The Chinese is not like that. This is not Chinese. This is movie bullshit. And you want to make all the Wing Chun look like idiot here on? We cannot be the best fighter and we don't want to fight. But stop to be idiot that is like you're thinking that, oh, yeah, I have this hypnotism. If I see a tiger, I can hypnotize it like my kitty at home, my kitten at home. Do you know what you're dealing with? So my conclusion is, number one, the real Chinese culture you never learn. The real Chinese Kung Fu law of fighting you never learn. You learn all this magic, all this thing, and you're following it for 100 years. After for 100 years, what you get? You get all kind of garbage. And so Chinese Kung Fu is this bad today. Is it really Chinese Kung Fu? It is not. The ancestor, like the Qigong and so forth, is not like that. So what about the young generation, the future generation? Are you going to screw them, living in some kind of fantasy, not even Chinese, but Chinese fantasy, not even Chinese culture, not even Chinese kung fu, but fantasy, Chinese fantasy. So this is what I like to share with you. Okay? I show you everything by evidence. I do not badmouth people. But it is a serious stuff. You want your kids, your daughter, your brother to learn all this nonsense Chinese woo-woo thing? What is the responsibility? Okay? So you want to talk about Wing Chun, there's dignity and responsibility. If you lost with dignity, lost with responsibility, that's okay. People don't laugh at you. But if you lost ridiculously, then man, then people laugh the hell out of you. So like the Qi Xiaodong laugh at everybody. What can you say? Because you based on fantasy to beginning with.